do a repot on this Oncidium. It's long overdue. It was in this black pot, and what I didn't like about it was the pseudo bulbs were extremely shriveled up, and this is the way it's been since I got it. So this Oncidium is the Rex Van Delden Pink Bees. If I can get that to focus. There we go. Right, that I got it at one of the orchid shows, and it's been like that. And I never really liked the sphagnum moss that was on the top of the pot because it looked like it was old or dried up, or I don't know, brown. And the sphagnum moss that I get is probably beige, but it's really bright and almost creamy, buttery color. So this is the medium. The medium itself is not bad. It's okay. It's bark mix. I am going to get some fresh sphagnum moss to mix in here. But one thing I did want to show you was that no wonder this plant isn't doing well, because it doesn't have any roots. All of these are next to dead. It's a whole mess of tangled roots, and there is one new root that is growing right there. It's got a root tip, so I have to be very careful not to damage that root tip. And I am going to repot it into one of the hanging baskets that I've just made. And you can watch how I made these baskets. Well, not the whole process, but basically it's very simple. 2 pieces of wire put into my video with the dollar stove finds. So while I'm working on that, I thought I would do a repot, and then I thought I needed to show you this because it's very, very interesting. So first off, what I'm going to do, while I get a handful of sphagnum moss that I will soak in some water, and actually it's later in the evening, maybe I won't soak it in water because I don't want it sitting overnight in water, because then it might, you know, encourage some root rot, which I don't want. But I am going to trim it off right here and get rid of all this extra root mass, because it's really not doing much. And it's got its storage in the pseudo bulbs, and hopefully that'll help. Okay, so I got just a small bunch of sphagnum moss, and I was at 2 minds whether to wet them, dampen them or not. But then I did, and I squeezed out all the water as much as I could, so it's just very slightly damp to the touch. And the reason I was wondering about that was because it is later in the evening right now, and you don't want to have the orchids wet overnight. It's just wiser to do it earlier in the day, but I didn't get around to it. So my sphagnum moss is long-haired, so I just chop them down so the fibers will be into smaller pieces so that I can mix it in with the bark. The bark is in good condition. It's fairly new. I can see that they repotted it. They've potted up this orchid fairly recently. It's just I didn't like the sphagnum moss it was in. So anyways, I'm going to mix this up, and the reason I am adding the sphagnum moss is because Oncidiums like to be, they don't like to dry out completely, because then you see the wrinkling in the pseudobulbs as well as the accordion in the leaves. And yes, I think it was just drying out too much because it didn't have any roots, first of all, and I was oblivious to it. So anyways, I'm glad I looked at it now, and it's all working out, I hope. So there it is, and I've given the roots complete trim. I've taken out everything, and I gave it a slight wash as well, so as to get rid of any kind of of fungus. And then I dried it out completely, so I don't want to pot it up when it was wet. Again, don't want to encourage any mold or fungus growth in the pot. So here it is, and now I'm just going to put in, not sure if I can do that with the wire on, but I'll try. Put it in some of the mix on the bottom, and place my orchid in the middle. And right now it's dead on the bottom, so I can just, kind of lean it down. But I have to be careful with that new root. right there, and it looks like I might need 2 hands for this. And then basically being very careful of that new root right here. I hope you can see that. I'm going to fill all the way around the pot, and it desperately needs some anchor. It doesn't have anything right now to even stand on. So I guess until it gets a little bit of a hold, I might even put a stake in, one of the stakes that I got from the dollar store. So just tap it in, just to help the medium settle around. Being careful not to cover the pseudo ball. And there. Oh, I'm surprised everything fit in here. Thought it was a little too much for it, but yeah, you don't want to put in any of the dust. So just the bark mix. And there. And I think when it's hanging, it doesn't even need the stake. So you could just ignore that mess for a bit. Yeah, so there is my Oncidium pink bees, and it is all potted up in its new home. Put the label back in so I don't forget what it is. And of course, so then I can share with you updates as we go along. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time,